Hey guys, I'm gonna do a voiceover of a speed paint that I made recently, kind of. So this is Nihachu and Nelly. They stream on Twitch, but so first off, you can see I kind of got it. Okay, none of these lines are written down. I'm just making this up as the video plays. It's going very fast. I just kind of figured out the joint important parts for anatomy, and then I just kind of like freehand drew everything else from there. You can see after drawing some things for a bit, it hasn't quite got to that part yet, but I just kind of gave up with the line art and just started coloring. It's gonna go in 3, 2, 1. Okay, yeah, so you can see I just said screw it and started filling with a random brush that I found and downloaded for Ibis Paint. I use Ibis Paint to draw on. So I just originally started putting down blocks of color, and then I would add details from there. I didn't do a lot of small details like what was on the canvases or the snacks on the blanket because I wasn't really focusing on the really teeny tiny details. The sock color, that yellow, is super ugly. I changed it later. I'm very glad I did. But anyway, I focused on G first. Alpha Lock is a true lifesaver because then I could do the highlights on her shoulders without having to worry about like outlining it or whatever. So anyways, yeah, I did originally just like a royal blue, then I went in with a slightly darker blue, and then I went in with an almost black for details. And then after that, oh wait, no, I think it's still going on G. Yeah, so I just kind of refined some of the lines on her legs. I think the skin tones were the hardest to figure out because I did not do the lighting the same as in the actual photo. So yeah, and also facial features were much easier for this because they were wearing sunglasses, so I didn't have to worry about that. I think hair maybe was probably the hardest because it was trying to do fine details but with a not so fine brush. Like the brush I was using was pretty chunky. Anyway, after I finished with G, I moved on to Nikki. Once again, just color blocking and then just kind of evening out the lines on the outside. The finished product has 0 line art, which I'm pretty proud of because I was able to use contrasting colors to make it look like I was able to use contrasting colors and still make it look good without line art. I'm rambling at this point. But anyways, moving on to Nikki, did her sweater. That was pretty easy. And then once it gets there, once again, skin tone. That was kind of weird. Especially since I had to figure out a way to like, oh, there the yellow changed. I had to figure out a way to make the legs 2 different colors so that you could tell that there was a difference between the 2 and not just a random peach blob. And then after that, it was just shading. She does have, it's hard to see in the picture, but she has like a little pink splotch on her leg, and for some reason I hyper focused on that detail. I was like, yep, that's gotta make the final one. And then sunglasses, hair. Nikki was pretty easy. Her hair is slightly pink. It's very pretty. And then just finishing up some details on there, shifting them over a bit. And then I got to work on the background, and I tried doing that thing in the sky where you use the clouds to make it look like a dome, kind of like the clouds are kind of curved, following the curve of, you can see the gradient. But I realized I put the dark spot on the wrong side of the canvas, so I flipped that. Changed the color of the grass, did the trees outline with more brushes that I found online for Ibis Paint. It's really hot in this room. I turned off all the fans so I could record this. So yeah, there's me doing the clouds. They came out funky. They didn't quite exactly have the effect I was going for, but I still think that they looked pretty good. Another hard part was the blanket, because there were so many different folds in there, and I didn't want to just put a green blob on the ground. So it's a green blob with more green blobs in it. The highlight, I think I made a little too thick or too light, or maybe both. It doesn't look awful. But yeah, then I made the grass darker. Then I added a whole bunch of, like, I wouldn't say individual grass blades, but like, I don't know, texture. I'm not quite happy with how the grass looked in the end. I feel like I could have done it differently. I'm not sure how I would have done it differently though. I just feel like maybe I should have gone smaller with the brush when I did the background, like as it got further back. But yeah, then I went on to add more small details in the clouds. There's a lot of small details in the clouds. So there's that going across. Also, it's hard to really tell where the sun was in the final product because I think I made the area around it a little bit too white, but you know what? That's okay. Man, I really spent a lot of time on the clouds. Honestly, brushes online that you find on Ibis Paint, a lifesaver because, like, not saying that you need fancy special brushes, but like, they help. So after the clouds, then I realized I forgot to do the green on Nikki's glasses and went in and fixed that. Kind of fixed up the grass a little bit, made it a bit less, I wouldn't say messy, but messy. Anyways, that's it.